What's going on YouTube? What's going on Instagram, Facebook? We are live. Going to be calling sellers here, talking to real sellers today, closing real deals, solving real problems. I'm going to start going live every other day, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, same time, 1:30 Arizona time, 1:30 PST, 4:30 EST. I'm going to be going live, talking to sellers, peeling back the curtains in my business, and just getting a lot more active here again on YouTube, Instagram, the free Dawgpound Community. We're turning that into something serious. So if you are not in the free Discord, make sure you click the link below, join the free Discord, because I have a lot of treats in there. We're going to be going live in there, calling sellers in there together, and just really going through this grind together of closing deals, closing sellers, solving problems, man. So I'm going to get into it. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to show you my CRM, what the system is looking like. As of right now, we currently have 4 or 5 deals under contract that are set to close in April. So the goal right now is $80,000, $85,000 gross as a company in April 2025. So if you are currently wholesaling real estate, your current deals that you're getting under contract, those are going towards April's closing, right? So if you want to have a big month in April, it's time to get a lot of contracts signed now. That's what I'm telling my team. That's what I'm telling myself. And that's why we're going hard here on the phones today to just really increase that, because we're about halfway there so far in assignments. We have 42,500 in assignments that are assigned already, set to close in the next few weeks. So the goal is to get more. We have 2 more under contract right now that we need buyers for, and then a few others that are just like long-term, solving problems. A lot of times people don't realize when you get a contract in with wholesaling, a lot of times we're dealing with people who have big problems, and sometimes the properties have problems, the titles have issues. So you have to go back and forth between title companies, buyers, probate attorneys, especially when you're pulling data from these sources that are indicating true pain, and you're dealing with properties that people don't want to deal with. For instance, I have a house right now in Dallas. The seller just quit claimed it to me because he was tired of dealing with the problems, right? So now we're dealing with the heirs and the probate and going through that whole process, but it's going to take a long time. Now we have a huge spread on the deal, but it's going to take some time to get there because it's a problem that nobody else wants to deal with. Okay. So let me know who's in the chat with me as well. Talk to me in the chat. We got a few people watching. I'm about to start our seller calls here soon. If you have any questions in the chat, make sure you're asking them. I'm going to be answering any questions in between calls. We'll do some call calibrations. We'll do some call reviews, things like that. So I'm really excited for what we have in store. Again, like I said, we're going to be cold calling live and just breaking down our system, pulling the curtains back in our system, 3 days a week, maybe more, 3 days a week minimum, where I'm going to be going live. Again, these are going to be long lives. If you're not in the free Dawgpound community, join the free Dawgpound community, because there's a lot of goodies that you'll get once you join. And I will see y'all in there. So let's turn this dialer up. I've spoke to a lot of these people. A lot of these leads are mixed of inbound marketing from TikTok and Facebook, or
the person you are calling cannot accept
probate
calls at this
and
time.
pre-foreclosure
We're sorry
leads.
for any inconvenience this.
So a lot of these people I spoke to already. I sent some text blasts too.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail. The person you're trying to reach.
I sent some text blasts out as well. So I texted people going through pre-foreclosure in Phoenix. So I sent about 750 text messages today. I may send another 800 later on in the stream.
Hello?
Hey, Laurie, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hey, yeah, this is Daryl. We spoke briefly a little bit last week about you selling the properties on Chase Street, and then there was a
Oh,
yeah, there was another
Right.
one. I think where we left off, you said you're planning on doing the work to it and listing it on the market.
Yeah, I'm on the line.
You said you're on the other line right
Sorry,
now.
go ahead. No, I was just that was someone else.
Oh, okay.
Someone
Yeah.
else.
Sorry about that.
I was talking to you.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah. No, I was saying the last time we talked, I believe the one on Chase Street. That's the vacant one, right? Chase Street.
No, Elm Street's vacant.
Elm Street's vacant.
Mhm.
You were planning on just doing the work to it and then listing it on the market yourself? Was that still the plan?
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. And in what situation would you forego doing the work? You decide you don't want to do the work. You'd rather just sell it to somebody who can close in 2 weeks and let them deal with the work. Where would you need to be at?
Right. I mean, obviously, the right price and the right terms, I would consider any offer at this moment.
Okay. So, yeah. So what's the right price on the right terms?
I mean, I think the house was done nicely and finished. It could sell close to like 300, maybe 325. I'd be willing to maybe. I mean, I was going to list when I listed. I was going to list it probably. Still going to do it under market, around 275, just to get it sold fast.
Okay. And you said it can be once it's fully renovated, it can sell for 325.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to sell it for 275.
Right. But someone could close quickly and buy it as is. It could come down to like 240.
240 if somebody can close fast, buy it as is. What work would I need to do to it to be able to sell it for 325?
Just mostly cosmetic stuff. It just needs like the painting finished. There's like some like minor plumbing work. It needs, like I was going to replace the vanity and update, in the big basement bathroom. It needs some flooring. There's a couple other like plumbing issues right now, but nothing major. And there's some siding that needs to be replaced on the very front peak, but I have that siding, and it's just a small section. It's not like a big amount of siding. It's like the peak of the house.
Okay.
A little bit of the back.
Sorry, I'm just trying to take notes here.
And then like landscaping, I think it was.
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to take notes here. You said the plumbing. The plumbing. What's wrong with the plumbing?
I was saying we just had some minor plumbing work. Like I was going to replace the vanity, in the basement. And like I still haven't hooked up the kitchen sink. But I did put new cabinets in, but they're not like I didn't put the countertops on them yet, or the backsplash in, or the flooring. So I mean, it just needs to be finished, but stuff like that.
Okay. And then what about like the major big ticket items like the roof, HVAC, furnace?
I mean, it's an older furnace, but it comes on and works very good. It's a good furnace. It's an older furnace, but it works.
You think it would pass like FHA regulations?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's a standard furnace. I mean, it's an older one, but it works fine. And it's got a newer hot water heater. Now it's not like brand new, but newer. It's like a 50-gallon. It's a nice big hot water heater, and that's in good condition.
When you say newer,
well, probably been like the last 5 to 7 years, I guess, maybe.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty. That's newer.
It's not like
Yeah.
But not like brand new, but it's way newer than the furnace.
Yeah, and then you've been like maintaining it, right? And like dumping
Mhm.
and everything every year and doing all that.
Well, I mean, I've only owned the whole house for like 2 years. I haven't owned the house that long.
God, is this the one I think we talked a while ago? You had a tenant that wasn't paying or something like that, or a crazy tenant situation?
Yep. Yeah, I had a squatter basically.
Oh man,
Mhm.
how long did it take to get him out?
I mean, what was a female? I
Or
mean,
her? Yeah.
a little while, but I got her out finally.
Sheesh. You know, you're not paying a mortgage, right?
No.
Okay. So when I'm looking up, so we're gonna need to do a full cosmetic. We have to do kitchens, bathrooms, a little bit of plumbing work, a little bit of siding. Did you tell me about the roof? Did you say anything about the roof?
I'm not sure of the condition of the roof. I mean, it looks like it's fine, but I didn't like get up there and inspect it or anything.
You have the age of it relative?
Probably 10, like 8, 9, 10 years. We got the newer shingles on it.
Okay. How much do you think it'll cost to do a full renovation to where it could sell for $325?
Well, you know, I do things differently than most people. I'm a good shopper. I mean, I think another, 20, 25 would be easy.
Yeah, I need to shop where you're shopping.
Oh, I love shopping, but
Yeah.
I'm really good at it. But I just shop at different, and I have, wholesale accounts with companies too.
Yeah, it's 2,000 square feet, 2-bedroom, 3-bathroom.
But the cabinets, which are a big ticket item, are really nice. They're really high end cabinets.
Yeah.
Look really good, and I just was having a hard time figuring out which countertops to go with. But I actually have some slabs of granite that I was going to use.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. What's your timeline?
I have the granite. I just haven't had it fabricated yet.
Yeah. What's your timeline in finishing it yourself?
Well, I really don't have one. I'm just trying to figure it out.
But like, it doesn't matter if it takes you another year to finish it and sell it. You're fine with that?
No, I mean, no, I'm not going to make that long. I mean, I need to have it finished with, I'm thinking the next, 3 months.
Next 3 months. Okay. Yeah, because
I'd like to get it on the market, within a reasonable time before the summer hits.
Yeah. Yeah, just considering, the fact that I have to do, full cosmetic work and then some plumbing, some siding, some paint, maybe a roof, not 100% sure. It sounds like it's going to cost me a lot more than $25,000. Is $240 the best you'll do?
I mean, what would you be willing to pay? What's the best you can do?
I guess I'm just having a hard time. So what I've been doing as we're talking is just trying to find a comparable to the 325. I do see one that sold for 385, but that's a 3,200 square foot house. I couldn't use that as a comp.
Right. I know, and actually that is the tougher part too, is finding the right comps, because I mean, there's been other homes on the same street that have sold for over 300 or around 300, but they were like half the size.
Right.
They weren't, but they were full remodels, full, everything redone. But it is kind of tough because, I mean, the area is definitely kind of more of a unique area. The house across the street just sold for $275, I believe. But that house was on the market for quite a while, and that house, it had a new kitchen, but it was quite kind of dated. otherwise. It was like really dark. It had really dark hardwood floors. It had dark trim everywhere. And then there was something funky going on with the basement. I don't know what it was. I've never seen anything like it before. But, and this couple just had a hard time. Because, that was the thing. He didn't have air conditioning.
Oh, no.
And they had a marketing. They started marketing in like the middle of the summer.
Oh, wow.
So then, but when it did just sell, and then towards the end, they had like multiple offers.
Oh, yeah, that's how it happens all the time. That's,
right. And so, but let me see if I can find any of my accounts. Live. What time is it? Pretty good. But yeah, I mean, the market out there is really unusual because you'll see stuff that's quite expensive for the area, and then you'll see other stuff that's really cheap. But
it's really cheap, right? Yeah.
But it just depends on the condition of it, and obviously everyone's different. It depends on someone's motivation.
What have the other investors been saying to you?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of investors out there. I mean, that's for sure. There's definitely a lot of people buying up property in this town because it is such a quaint little town.
Yeah. When they gave you an offer, the investors that were reaching out, where were they at?
Well, I mean, they're around 200, which I said no. I'm not going down that far.
Yeah.
Let me see here what I can find. Here's one on Main Street. Oh, see, that was really small. Let's see, the one next door to it is also tiny. Oh my God, that's really tiny. That's the part where I've been having a hard time finding things that are comparable. But yeah, I mean,
yeah, like when, especially if you're getting offers at 200, I don't want to. Like I just want to I'll take my buyer's cap off.
Yeah, so that's investors. That's an investor.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I mean, I'm an investor, so I mean, I get it. You go, what do you do when you're an investor? You go in and you lowball people. You try to get it for as much under market value as you possibly can.
Right.
I mean, that's the name of the game.
Yeah, and it's not like because we just want to, right? It's like we kind of have to because you only make money when you're buying, right? Like I can try to sell it for however much I want on the market, but only the buyer determines what the value is. So the only way we can make sure we actually make money is buying pretty low.
I get it.
Yeah, like I think my number.
That's why, I mean, if I find the right, that's what I guess that you asked me. I was like, well, if I find the right person, the right investor, the right company, the right whoever for the right price and terms, then I'll sell it. But if not, I'll just keep moving forward and finishing it myself and putting it on the market when I finish it.
Have you ever thought about maybe partnering with a local investor to just do the work and then put it on the market and split profits?
Yeah, I guess I've thought about it, but I haven't really did much about trying to find that person. you know.
Would you do it if I had that person? Like if I know who that person is? And
I would potentially be open to something like that. Absolutely.
Okay.
Because the biggest issue for me is that the stupid property is 2 hours away.
Yeah.
So it's 2 hours away. That's only one way. So then it's 2 hours back. It's too time consuming for me to deal with sometimes. And I just, I don't have a mortgage on it. So it's just kind of like my lower priority. But at the same time, obviously I want to sell it. I don't want to sit on it forever. I want to try to get it done, within a reasonable amount of time.
Girl, what were you thinking when you bought this property?
Actually, I bought it for a client. One of my clients who wanted to buy it. She had bought a fiveplex actually there, and then she wanted to build up her rental property for her 3 kids. And I thought, okay, that's good. And I was helping her, and we found this property, but she was having, like, she couldn't get it financed right away. So
Oh man.
I basically came up, I basically said, all right, well, if you really want it, I'll buy it and then I'll flip it to you.
Right.
And
you got.
And then right after that happened, her and her husband decided to get a divorce. And
no.
she moved to the state of Washington. And then she moved to the state of Washington. And I was like,
Wow.
oh my God, are you kidding me? Like, so that is the thing. I didn't really buy it myself to buy it and do it. I bought it for a client who I thought I was going to flip it to, within a few months.
Man.
And so that kind of changed. And then I had hired a contractor to go in there and do some work to it.
Yeah.
But he didn't do what I asked him to do, and he actually messed it up. He made it worse than it was when I first bought it. I was like, "What the hell are you doing?"
Really? After the tenant or before the tenant?
Before the tenant.
Wow.
And it was actually him who put this tenant in there for me, and then that was horrible too.
So he ruined everything.
Oh my God. He did. Honestly, he did. And I wish, if he had any freaking money, I would sue him, but he doesn't. So, he's actually in jail now for some stupid shit. But it had to do with real estate. It had to do with something like he didn't disclose, or he lied, or did things that he was supposed to do regarding like around asbestos and some stuff like that. Which I was like, what? What?
Well, they say what goes around comes around.
Exactly,
but
he totally, and that's the thing. I mean, I thought this is better, and he, came across as and he came as references, and I thought, oh, okay, great, and that just went south. So I'm just like, what the hell? So, and I've had a few other contractors that I've talked to and dealt with, but I've fired people, and I'm like, all right, I'm just not interested in playing some of these stupid games. I don't know if these contractors some days.
I don't blame you. It's a full-time job managing contractors, especially when you're far away. It's really hard to manage contractors because as soon as they sense that you're not on top of it, they're gonna take advantage.
Yeah, exactly right. Yep.
It's
They're
almost
like little dogs, and they skip out.
Yeah, it's almost like it's a requirement
good.
to be a contractor. You have to scam people when they're
not. I know. It's sad, right?
Yeah, but there's some good ones out there.
They actually don't tell you that they actually need a place to live.
Right?
They're like, oh, yeah, we're gonna do. And then they go, and then they like next thing you know, they're in your house. You're like, wait a second, what are you doing?
Right. That's crazy.
Like, I didn't say you could live here.
Yeah.
It's like, and then of course, if you let someone live there, then what do? They take their sweet little time, and nothing gets done. Because they're like, well, they don't want to finish.
When they finish, they're homeless. So
they got to get out of there.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's like, man, what a pain in the ass.
Man.
So yeah, I've just had a bunch of weird shit happen. So
yeah. So if I brought somebody to do this, how would you want it to be done? Like you get the 240 and they get everything on top after putting the money in and doing the work, or what were you thinking?
Well, see, I mean, obviously if you're partnering with someone, then obviously the numbers and the calculations change. It would be some other kind of standard type split, I guess.
What do you
but
think?
It would just be another negotiated thing. It's like, okay, what depends on what they want, and you just see what everybody could come to an agreement on.
Yeah. Well,
but I mean, obviously, I would like to get more. The more I can get, the better. Obviously, so I mean, it's like, and then how much in the partnering, like who's doing what, and what's being provided. It's like, there's all these different. There's a lot of factors. And
you're able to list. Are you able to list on the MLS in Sterling?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I'm in the RA Colorado, and I mean, I'm actually looking at listings right now.
Yeah,
in Sterling, they're all.
So you would get.
I mean, obviously, they have an MLS too, but I mean, but most everything is listed in the Denver Metro MLSs.
Yeah. So you wouldn't be expected to do any work regarding the property. Other than you can have the listing, right? Like you can list it, and
right.
But the person that I would bring the crews, the money. They'll be there local. They'll bring the rest of the funds to actually get everything done. and then they'll manage the project and get it sold on the market.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'd definitely be open to that conversation. And that, I mean, honestly, if I could get 240 and then also be the listing agent on it, so I get that commission, then I'd probably be fine with that.
Yeah. I just don't know. I just have to make sure that the 240 would work. So I'll just reach out to a couple people and
That's fine.
Just consider they put in let's just say 50,000.
Yeah, that's a lot.
You think that's a lot? You think
That
that's
is
too
way
much?
over.
You think that's too much to put into it?
I mean, I don't think it needs that much. I mean, it's like, man, what kind of paint are you using?
Yeah.
Is it gold? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, but,
I don't know.
But
I mean,
the floors are good and
it,
everything, and
well, no, it needs flooring. But I was looking at that vinyl plank flooring. I mean, you can get that plank flooring for it's pretty inexpensive these days. Depending on where you shop and what what exactly you're buying, of course, because there's a lot of different qualities and types of that new vinyl plank flooring. But I mean, Home Depot and Lowe's, even though it has it on sale all the time for like 99 cents a square foot, so that's to me pretty cheap. It's usually the installation that's a little bit more, and that's why some of these installation things, I mean, those plank floorings are so freaking easy to lay down. I mean, you lay down some underlayment and they click into place. Click, 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 click. You don't even have to staple them.
yeah.
It's a floating floor. Those are so simple to install. It's not even funny. But here's a house I'm looking at that is kind of somewhat comparable. It even has a very similar living room. Because this house has like a fireplace in the living room when you first walk in, with windows on each side of it, and it is brick right now. And I was thinking, I'm not a big fan of painting brick, but I think in this case it would do it justice to paint the brick a contrasting color. And so I painted that room already, and already did it's all like gray tones with like a darker gray trim. I didn't paint the fireplace yet, but I think that would make it look a lot nicer. And this house sold for $283,000. They originally had listed it for $317,000. This one is at 210 Columbine Street.
And it's sold for
It's
sold for $283,000.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes it.
And they had listed it for $317,000.
Yeah, it makes it kind of. I think the numbers are kind of tight.
Right. I know. Well, they are, but I mean that's.
And you wouldn't take like.
But it depends on what you're, like I said, what what you put into it.
Yeah.
But, I don't think $50,000 is. I think that's a real extremely inflated.
Yeah, I ran the numbers on 30,000. But how would we be able to get access to it?
What do you mean? How do you get access?
Like, is there a lockbox? Like, could I send somebody to confirm the?
Well, I mean, I don't have a lockbox on there now, but I could put a lockbox on there.
Okay. Well,
I need to go out there regardless. So, I mean, I was going to go out there this week.
Okay.
So I just, because I mean, I also still have stuff in the house, supplies and equipment and stuff. So.
Got it. Well, when do you plan on going back out there?
This week. I'm not sure exactly what day, but definitely this week.
Okay. Well, let me reach out to my people and see if this is something that I could even help with. If it is, maybe somebody can meet you there at the house and tell us what work is needed, and we figure out the numbers from there.
Okay. Yeah, we could do that. Okay.
But you would be excited to do a deal like this if we can make the numbers work?
Yeah, if we can make it work. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's see what we can do. If they're like the best that they can do is like 210, 215 at you, should I just tell them no? You can't do that?
I mean, that's still pretty damn low. I mean, I'm somewhat flexible, but I don't think I would come below 230.
Below 230. Okay. Well, let me just go check, see what's the best that we can do, and I will get back to you. Just give me Give me 2 days. You think you're gonna head out there?
Give me your name again one more time.
I'm Daryl.
Daryl?
Daryl, yeah.
Okay, all right. That's what I thought. Just want to make sure.
Yeah.
I'll program you in to my phone.
Yeah,
Is this
perfect.
your number on Arizona?
This is my cell.
Okay.
Yeah, you can text this number too.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, I'll plug you in.
Perfect. Laurie, I feel special
Okay.
now.
All right. Well, you are special.
I hope you mean that in a nice way.
I do. Absolutely.
All right. All right, Laurie. So give me like 48 hours and let me just see what I can do, and I'll give you a call back.
All right. Sounds good. All right. Cool.
All right.
All right. Thanks.
Perfect. Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. You're welcome. Bye.
Pretty good call. So I just stayed on with her, trying to see, is there any way that we could help? She is motivated. She has this house that's 2 hours away from her that she bought and didn't want to be a landlord. I learned this saying a few years back that is held true to this day, that says the most motivated sellers are accidental landlords. Somebody who became a landlord and they were not planning to become a landlord. She is an accidental landlord. She bought this house for a client, and the client ended up saying she didn't want it anymore. So she closed on it and has been stuck with it. Had a bad tenant that wasn't paying, and she's just been losing money for a long time. She started off asking for, what was it, 270, and by the end of the call, she said she'll take 230. Mind you, we did know, I didn't necessarily make her a concrete offer. I didn't commit to anything with her, but I got her to drop her price $40,000, right? And it was 16-minute call, dropped her down $40,000, and I was pretty strategic, especially at the end. Just asking her, you'll probably say no if they were at around 205, 210, right? Just constantly anchoring, get an idea of what she wants, just using silence. So I think we may be able to wedge ourselves in there. I may be able to find somebody who can do an ovation, do a flip in that area. I really don't know, but I'm going to look into it. I'm going to reach out to some people that are in Colorado and see if we can work something out there. So that was a good lead. That was a good conversation right there. Let me see some love in the chat. If you heard that whole call, one in the chat. If you heard that whole call, let me know. I think she would do less than 230 too. So I'm just going to keep on working that angle, see if we can get her down lower and lower. All right. So I'm going to push her over to offer made, and then I'm going to go right on to the next one. I need to set a reminder to send this out to Colorado people.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail.
I will not be
the
at
person you're
Squad
trying
Up.
to reach is not available. At the tone, please record.
I will not be at Squad Up. I'm just locked in. But if y'all want to squad up, y'all know where to hit me up in the Dawgpound Discord. The link is in the bottom in the bio.
Your call has been forwarded to an
It is
automated
free
voice message.
to join. Even if you joined already, even if you're already in there, I suggest signing up for it again, because I gave a lot of free bonuses for the new people who joined. So even if you're already in there, just fill it out and you'll get some free goodies sent to you. that I use every day in my wholesale business.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system. 86327367669 is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you've finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options. To leave a callback number, press 5.
Hey, Darla, this is Daryl. Give me a call back. My phone number is 520-462-3824.
To reach the cell phone of Aurelio Quintanilla, please leave a detailed message after the tone, and I'll call you back as soon.
Please leave your message for 4.
We're going to get somebody on the phone today. We're going to get some contracts signed. We're going to get some contracts signed. Let's get a chat. I got a good feeling. Drop questions that you have in the chat. I'll answer them in
Call has
between
been
calls.
forwarded to an automatic voice message.
Drop questions in the chat. Shout out to Michelle. Shout out to Joelle. If you're in the chat, let me know who's there. Let me know who's in the chat.
Please leave your message for 90450833618.
Alessandra, it's Daryl. Give me a call back.
call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message.
This is all part of the game. If you're looking to start calling sellers, closing sellers, wondering why you're not closing sellers, and you're not comfortable with calling back to back to back,
You've reached David Little.
and not getting answers, then you may not be built for this, right? You have to be able to sit on the phone and constantly call and dial, regardless if they answer or not. You got to be able to keep yourself pumped up, hyped up, because when somebody does answer,
Your call has been forwarded to an
you never know if that someone is going to be the deal that you're going to get signed today. So you got to stay ready. Never judge a lead. Yassine, what's good, my guy?
This is Clyde. Glad you called. Please leave a message to Toad.
Clyde sounds like a nice guy.
Please leave your message for 281-639-6169.
Joe, it's Daryl. Give me a call back.
Welcome to the voicemail.
832.
Please leave your message for 91556489965.
Got that. This is Daryl. Give me a call back.
Hello.
Hey, Vivian, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
This is Daryl. I was calling about the property on Seacliff Place in here in Richmond. Were you still looking to get that sold?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I know we I think we talked about a month ago. But I was calling to see if we were a good fit to buy. If we are a good fit, we can get the process started today. And if we're not a good fit, I'll tell you why. Point you in the right direction, anyways. That sound good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How much did you want to sell this for?
Well, what do you know of the property? You said we talked before. I don't remember.
We talked briefly. I remember I was driving in the car, and I know you said you wanted to sell it, but I couldn't get in contact with you since then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you get a price? What can I fill you in?
How much do you want to sell it for?
Well, what was it when I talked to you before?
I don't know. Like I said, I didn't get that far. We talked. I was driving. I don't even have any notes. I just remember the address. Do you have a price in mind?
Well, yeah, I do. I wanted to sell it for 1.5. I don't know if you have the details of the home. You know, it's not a fixer upper.
Okay, fill me in. What's going on with the home?
Well, a 1.5, is that within your range? Because I don't want to waste your time if it's not.
As long as the house
if
it's worth 1.5, I don't have a problem paying what the house is worth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a luxury home, and it's not a fixer upper. Like I said, there are no major repairs. It's not a rundown property. Beautiful location by the water.
Yeah. You don't think you'll have a better chance selling it faster on the market, on the MLS?
Yeah, I may, but I think I may. I just haven't had time to, do some, take care of it. So because I moved and I'm kind of taking care of our new home.
Got it.
So but if someone is willing to, pay the right price, then I'm willing to negotiate.
But if you're gonna because if you're gonna put it on the market though, you're gonna sell it for more than 1.5, so you can walk away with 1.5 in your pocket, or were you gonna list it for 1.5?
Yeah, I wanted to list it for 1.5 or close to that, maybe a little less, whatever. But if a direct buyer, comes along and we agree on the price, then I'm negotiable.
So if you were to list it for that price, you'd probably walk away with what, like 1.3, 1.35 in your pocket after you pay closing costs and realtor fees?
Correct.
Okay.
Maybe a little more.
I don't. It wouldn't be a good fit for me to buy it at 1.35, 1.4, even 1.5. What I think I can do though is bring you a buyer. So instead of, I can save you some money on agent fees and realtor fees and get you closer to the 1.5 number. I'll just have the buyer pay me, right? So I'll market it. I'll bring you a buyer. I'll take the pictures. I'll handle the walkthroughs, negotiations, anything that needs to get done at the property. And we'll sell it for you. I'll bring a buyer for you. You get paid the price that we agree to in your pocket. And then I just work my fee into the price.
Oh, okay. So it's not a direct buy anymore because I'll have to pay for the closing costs and everything. For whatever the cost.
Yeah, so I'll make sure all the closing costs and the agents get paid out of my fee. But what me and you agree to is going to be what's in your pocket. Like you're not going to have to pay any fees after.
Okay, so how long does that take though?
I would say anywhere in between. Go ahead.
Between what?
I would say 60 and 90 days. Anywhere within that time frame.
Why does it take that long? If you have a buyer, why can't you just negotiate it right away? So
Well, I'm gonna market
deal,
it.
right?
I'm gonna market it to buyers. I'm gonna market it to multiple buyers.
And because I will be waiting, and then I'll do, you know, I would rather have someone who would say they're ready to buy now. And
I mean, if you have
and
somebody,
also
if let's say we're under contract and we're finding you a buyer, and you say, "Hey, Daryl, I have somebody who's gonna pay me this price. They have proof of funds. They're gonna close in this amount of days." I wouldn't stop you from taking that, and I wouldn't expect to get paid either.
Mhm. But if we sign a contract or something, then that means I have to, I'll be committed to our deal, and that's the one thing I don't like.
Well, yeah, we'll both be committed to each other. That means I'm going to put money into it as well, right? Because I'm going to get professional pictures, and I'm going to use my time and resources to get it on the market and show it and do lock boxes and do all that. So I'm going to be committed too. But what I will do is I'll say, if you have a price, if you have a offer for X amount or above, I will release I will release the contract, and you have not to pay me. You won't have to pay me, but I would just ask for at least like 30 days to market it and get a head start and see if I can get it done within 60 days. But if we're past day 30 and I'm like, hey, say that again.
Okay. And how much would you be willing to close this deal if, we agreed on doing something like that? Because if I wanted it for 1.5, how close can you?
You're saying 1.35?
1.5?
I'm saying, would you take 1.35 in your pocket and I handle everything else?
1.35. You're going to do everything. You're going to market the home and pay the closing cost.
Everything.
And this is as is, okay? I won't have to do anything else.
Yeah, as is. I'm not expecting you to.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not expecting you to do a thing to it.
Let me talk. Yeah.
It's in good shape, right?
Oh, yeah. No, it's in good shape. It's in moving condition. Everything is working. Okay. We don't need major repair.
Okay. And you said you're going to need to talk to your husband?
Yeah, I think I might, but I know he wants a direct buyer. He's going to say.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I have to run my numbers and see it and just confirm this is something we could actually do as well. But let me ask. So you said you said he's going to want a direct buyer, so you kind of think he's already going to say no?
I don't know. Well, we want to have, some kind of timeline, because if I'm going to do this, I want a timeline. If you say 30 days, then we look forward to 30 days.
What I typically tell people is give me 30 days to find a buyer and 30 days to close. That's typically what I tell people. And if 30 days or we're at day 21 and I got no interest at all, I'm going to come back to you and I'm going to tell you, hey, this is where we're at. I don't think we'll be a good fit, or I think this is the price that we should put it at. But I wouldn't waste your time. I would, just confirm that if I can pay you at 1.35, if I can even, I would want to list it at a price that's competitive so it doesn't sit on the market for a long time. Like we have one right now in Deltona, Florida, where I put it up on the market. I like to price it correctly so I can get multiple offers fast, right? So I priced it on the market. I didn't put it too high, didn't put it too low, and we got an asking price offer the same day, and yeah, I left money on the table, but I would rather do it fast and confirm that I actually can get it done rather than dragging it along trying to get the highest possible price, So yeah, I mean, think about it with your husband. I guess what?
Yeah.
What?
Can you send me something? a proposal, and I can look over that. So I can.
Yeah, when you say a proposal, what exactly do you mean?
Correct. I want to know, so the figures, and if you sell the house, exactly how much am I going to net? I want to be able to see how much I will actually net.
Okay. Can I just send you a text of what we talked about? Would that work?
Yeah, I don't like surprises. It looks to me like you said you're going to sell the house. So what are you going to do in order to sell the house? Are you in California?
I'm in Arizona. I have a team in California though.
Okay, so how are they going to sell the house?
Yeah, they're going to take professional pictures, put it on the market, send it out to all the buyers agents in the area that have buyers in this range, and we're going to hold showings, and we're going to sell the house within 30 days. That's always our goal.
What about you're going to stage the home? Are you going to pay for all those expenses for you to sell the home?
What, the closing costs?
No, you said that you will be selling the home. Are you going to take pictures and?
Yeah, I pay all that.
I
pay for all that. Yeah.
So what else do you have to? What will I have to pay for? In other words, you're paying for closing costs, so property tax, I will pay for property tax.
Yeah, I mean, unless you want to buy me dinner when we do this, you don't got to pay for anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no. You're not paying anything. This is what we call our done for you service. So I'll take the pictures, I'll market it, I'll get I'll make sure the closing costs are paid, I'll make sure the buyer's agent is paid. None of it's coming out of your dime. 1.35 goes directly in your pocket, and I need to go sell it for more and just make my spread in between.
So if you can sell it for more than 1.35, then you will pay me more than that, right?
Well, no, because that's what I'm going to pay the closing costs with, and I'm going to pay the agent. Yeah, so I get what's like left over after everything gets paid off. So I may not even make a lot, or a good amount. This is a big risk on my end, but I typically just run the numbers to make sure that we'll make some type of profit.
Okay, well, let me think about it. And
I know you said. Say that again.
Mm-hmm. I want to know what I sell it to the realtor. Probably.
If you listed it with the realtor.
Yeah.
Yeah, and would have to pay closing costs and 6%.
No, not 6%.
What, like 5%?
No, I have a realtor who's willing to work with me for 2%.
Yeah, but you got to pay the buyer's agent too.
Why do I have to pay the buyer's agent? I don't have to pay the buyer's agent.
The seller always pays the buyer's agent. You have to incentivize the buyer's agent to actually bring the buyer. So if I say, hey, I'm selling this house, you can bring me a buyer, but I'm not going to pay you anything. The agent's not going to bring a buyer. They're just going to take their buyers to the other properties that are listed that they'll get a good commission on.
That's not right.
It's not. I know.
Well, okay, well,
I gotta pay. I pay agents, a lot of money when we sell our houses. So I get it. But at the same time, I'm thankful because they will bring me a buyer and save me time. That's why we kind of do this, because I can work with other agents. We have agents that we work with that they're willing to take less, and then we just work things out with the closing costs, and we get things done a lot faster. So, think about it. It sounds like you're not too interested in it, though. It sounds like you're leaning towards listing it with an agent or selling it yourself.
Yeah, I don't. Actually, I haven't really, spent a lot of time thinking about it. So if there's a direct buy, I just go ahead and that would be much easier. But I really haven't talked to a realtor, although there are realtors waiting for me to list the home with them. So I think I might be doing that in like a few days. Right now, there's just so much on my table right now. So
Yeah.
yeah, it sounds like something that we can do.
Say that again, the last part.
Yeah, I thought that might be something we can do, but I just want to explore what a realtor can bring in for me. So what makes you think you can sell in 30 days?
Because that's what I do.
Well, how wide is your market?
This is what I do for a living. I read a report the other day that said like 74% of realtors have never done a deal before. And it's just pretty interesting.
Wow.
So I would just make sure that whatever realtor you use can show you HUDs that they've done deals, or can show you settlement statements that they've actually been through a closing and successfully sold a house. I'm not going to sell you on if I can do it or not. I know that I can. Go explore the other realtors that you're talking to, but just confirm that they actually do deals and they can get it done fast.
Do you do global? Because with the high interest rates right now, I'm not so.
You said, do I do what?
The rates are high right now, so.
Yeah, but as long as houses are priced correctly, real estate is still selling every day. We just sold a house on Friday. We just closed on a property, and it's because it's just priced correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I might consider. Let's talk about it again.
Yeah. When should we talk again?
Let me talk to my husband. Something he's interested in doing.
You want us to all jump on a call?
No, not right now. So,
no, not right now, but I mean, in the future, I can maybe answer any questions that everybody has.
So let's. Okay.
When? What do you think? Like a day, 2 days, weekend? When do you think I should call you back?
Yeah, maybe. Let me take your name, Daryl.
Yeah, Daryl. Daryl. Yeah.
Can you give me a little more than 1.35?
What are you thinking?
What do you think? This is a beautiful home by the water. They don't build homes anymore near the water here in the Bay Area. We have a view of the.
It just gets kind of scary. I do see one that sold for 1.5, but I also see one that sold for 1.185. Similar size and build.
Because our neighbor sold for 1.525.
Yeah,
and the other one 1.75. Those are very realistic comparables because they have the same floor plan. But my view is much better because I don't have backyard neighbors, and I'm overlooking the San Francisco Bay, the Bay Bridge, and Berkeley, Angel Island. Better view than the other two homes because the other two homes have they have neighbors blocking, the ocean.
Yeah.
Or somewhere in the most part. We're like on the edge of the community, by the.
What would be a number that would get you excited to do this today?
closer to 1.5. I know you can sell this more than that because it's, like I said, it's a nice home.
Yeah, but when you say closer to 1.5, you mean like 1.4, 1.45? Like what exactly are you thinking that would get you excited to want to work with me?
1.45.
1.45. And then you think I can sell it for how much?
I don't know. I just told you the comparables are 1.5.
1.5.
1.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the max. I would have to see exactly what your view is. But you can see that you have a water view from the house. Is that?
Yes. Upstairs and downstairs, all the floors, and almost I'd say 180 degrees.
From the backyard, though, right? So you have no backyard.
The back and the side. We have an angle. Our home is, it's angled, so even the side windows you can see the water, and even in front you have a nice view of the hills.
Okay. Yeah, I'll see if I can make the 1.45 happen. I'll run numbers and then talk with your husband as well. See what he thinks.
Yeah, sure.
So, but you think if I can get 1.45 to work, you would be ready to move forward and get the process started and let us start marketing it?
I think maybe we might do that, but
you didn't sound too sure about that.
Because I don't want to be stuck. I don't like to be stuck with you and then wait for so long. When I can, have a realtor sell it quickly. Because the realtor who sold the other house for 1.575, he put it out in the market and was sold in 1 week.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you see that?
I didn't see that, but I wouldn't say that we can't do that too.
That's it's very marketable. It's a desirable part.
Yeah.
Point Rich one.
I would say the only reason why I would ask for 60 days is just because in the event where it takes us, let's just say it takes us 2 weeks to find a buyer and they need 30 days to close. I just want to make sure we're still on the same page. But what do you think? 60 days is better, or would you like? I guess what kind of length of term would you want to do?
Yeah, you said you could close in 30 days. You'll find me a buyer in about 1 month, you said.
Yeah, I can find a buyer, but then it may take them 30 days for their financing, their inspections and appraisals and.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
Yeah, okay. As long as we know where we have a buyer.
Right. Okay. Then yeah, I think that's pretty fair. I think it's something we can do. Let me.
Your last name and.
Say that again.
Company. Your company and your last name.
So my last name is Ellison. ELLISON. And the company's offered George. So I'm not like a huge company like Zillow or Open Door or anything like that. We typically buy to fix and flip or buy for rentals. But in the case where I come across a really beautiful house, this is just a program that we have to help you find buyers faster and keep a little bit more money in your pocket.
Okay, let me. Okay. Let me think about this, okay?
Yeah, 100%. And let me do the same. I'll make sure. I'll see if I can do the 1.45. When should we get on another call?
Maybe 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
What's today? Is that too long?
It's a long time.
Because I'm not in the property right now and want to go there and see, talk to my realtor and see what he can do.
Yeah.
I don't
Okay.
have I'm not committed to a realtor yet.
Oh, so you didn't even have a realtor yet?
And well, I have a realtor who's waiting for me to sign some documents, but I keep putting it off because
Ask him how many deals he's done so far this year, and see what he says. And make him show proof too.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
I said have him show you proof of how many deals he's done this year before you sign with anybody.
Oh, okay.
All right. So yeah, take 2 weeks, take 3 weeks, take as long as you need. We're buying other properties. If you think this is something that would make sense, we can jump on another call. But if not, if it doesn't work for you, it's not the end of the world. Just let me know, and no worries.
Okay, sounds good to me.
All right,
Okay,
Julie.
Daryl.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Yes, nice talking to you. All right,
Bye-bye.
bye. I didn't go as hard on that one because I'm not sure if those numbers work. And I was just constantly trying to pull out the real objection here. What's really stopping her from moving forward? Could have went into her motivation a little bit more, but I talked to her before, and I shouldn't be prejudging it, but she's not too motivated to need to sell. She's not in a position to where she needs to sell, right? So I'm constantly looking for somebody who has a problem and they need help solving it, and selling the house helps them solve that problem, but they just don't know how to do it, right? So when I find that person, that's the person where my ears go up and we solve their problem. This person, she's not as motivated, but we have a solution that can help her, which is the novation. I just put it on the market for her, help her find a buyer. But I'm never going to convince somebody to do something that they don't want to do. That's why I was just constantly pulling away. If you've seen, I was saying stuff like, you're probably not ready to say yes to this anyway. It sounds like you're not really interested in this. So just let me know. So I'm just pulling away and just not being as interested to buy, not being more interested to buy than she is to sell. So that's again, it's the game that I always want to play. I always want to be less interested in buying than they are in selling. I want to be less interested in buying than they are in selling. So if I ever feel me getting a little ahead of the race and getting a little bit excited to buy, and they're like pulling away from me, I'm going to pull away even harder. Right. So I'm going to leave some notes here. But shoot, if this could sell for 1.5 million, that'd be a nice little payday. Be a nice little payday if there's some spread in there regarding the closing costs and other fees. But it should be. It definitely should be. We'll see. But I think I would say like closer to like 1.38. It's important to leave notes after every conversation that you have with your prospects and sellers. It really helps when you're calling and you don't talk to somebody for a long time. almost forget about them, get them back on the phone, and you have notes there from when you left off, so you can use them in the conversation if they're trying to, you know, play dumb or play their role, play their character that they want to play. Gotta remember, you're either selling or you're being sold. You're either selling or you're being sold.
Hello.
Jared, what's going on? This is Daryl.
Yeah. This who?
This is Daryl. Did you sell the property on East Cactus Street yet?
It's pending right now.
It's pending? Okay, good. Yeah, I just wanted to check back in. I know last time we talked, you had it back on the market. So you got a buyer from on the market?
Yes, sir. I got a buyer off the market.
Are they paying? So they're paying cash, or what are they?
It's FHA, and it's supposed to close April 10th, and they're giving us $188,000 for the house.
Whoa, there you go.
Yes, sir.
How do you feel?
I feel good, man. We went through the options just now, and all they're asking is for the septic to be pumped. So I'm about to pump the septic and just call it good.
There you go. There you go. I'm glad you got it done, man. So what's your plan?
Yes,
What's your plan from here?
I don't know, man. I took a job, like I said, I took a new job, and I got to fly to Louisville, Kentucky for it, but I don't know where I'm going to go yet.
Yeah.
I can't go from there.
Sounds good, man. Well, I'm glad you got it done. Good stuff. I'll just take you off our list here. You didn't have any other properties you wanted to sell, right?
No, sir. That's
No.
it.
All right, Jared. Sounds good. Well, best of luck with closing. All right. Thank you.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it. Bye.
Man, this is a guy we had him pretty much under contract as a sub 2 deal. As you've seen, he said he has an FHA buyer, so somebody's going to move into it, which is the only way that it was going to work. His ex-wife is an agent as well, and she was pretty much trying to sabotage the whole deal. Like she didn't want to sign a creative deal. This was like 2 months ago, and she left him stuck with paying the mortgage, and he couldn't afford it. He was about to go through foreclosure. Let's see, we just got a call back. Hello?
Yeah, I think the
Yasin. Yeah, I can see if I can connect you. Let me see if he's on a call right now. Who's this? What's your name?
My name is Malcolm. He called one of my family members' phones about a property. He called the wrong person, though.
Got it. So you're looking to sell a property?
So yeah, I guess that's what he was calling for. I didn't know what the conversation was. My father just called me and gave me the number saying somebody called.
Got it. Yeah.
My brother's phone.
Yeah, he works on my team. Sorry about that if we had the wrong number. But I can help you out with that if you're looking to sell a property. What's the address of the house?
It's 11140 West Road in Roswell, Georgia, 30075.
All right, cool. So yeah, I'll see if this something is a good fit for us to buy. If it is, we can get the process started today. And if not, I'll tell you why and point you in the right direction anyways. I just pulled this up. It's this mansion in Roswell?
Yeah.
Okay. You had it listed at one point?
Yeah, it just came off the market.
What'd your agent say? Why do they think it didn't sell?
You said what?
Why did they think it didn't sell?
Well, we had a lot of interest. The first agent, it didn't sell because she kind of dropped the ball on a couple negotiations. Got a new team. We had a lot of interest, but they played around with the numbers a little bit too much for me. So we had people at certain numbers that I would take, but they were just trying to get some attention to the house, which we did get, but it was a waste of time with some of the numbers. Yeah.
Do you live here currently?
Yes, on occupied.
Okay. Man, as you're looking to sell this house, this thing's beautiful.
Yeah, I don't want to be in Georgia no more. I'm not from there.
Where you from?
Baltimore.
Baltimore.
But I'm in between here and Miami.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, I used to live in I went to Bowie State in Laurel.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I'm familiar with Baltimore. That's actually where I started real estate. It was interesting.
Right. So what do you guys do? What are you guys? What do you guys?
Yeah, so I don't know
real estate
if we'll be a good fit. I typically buy to do fix and flips.
Oh, yeah, he called, so I don't
Yeah.
I was just calling back to see why. Like I don't know who that is.
Yeah, I guess how much do you want to sell it for? I may know a buyer.
Well, it's gonna go next time it goes back on the market. It'll be back up to 2.5. It just appraised at 2.75.
2.5.
About two weeks ago.
Yeah.
So it'll be. I've had 3 appraisals over the last 3 years. The lowest one was 2.4, but yeah, my number is around 2.5.
Yeah, the only way that this would make any sense for me to buy it is if you were open to selling it on terms.
As far as what?
So I'll pay the price you're asking. Maybe could even pay a little bit more, and I pay you today money. I pay you a down payment, and then I pay you monthly payments for as long as you want until I pay you off.
Yeah, but you taking possession of the house?
Yeah, I'll take ownership of the house.
Yeah, probably wouldn't work. But it depends on what down payment be.
That all depends as well. There's a mortgage on the house you owe on it.
Yeah, so I did a refi. I did a refi on it. So yeah.
Okay, so typically how does it work? So I'm actually buying a house like this right now in Kissimmee, Florida. It's like 10 minutes from Disney. They actually just refinanced as well, so they owe about $650,000 on the house. So what I did was I told them, hey, it doesn't make any sense for me to buy myself. Because if I go get a loan to pay off your loan, there's no spread and there's no room for me to make any money. There's no room for me to pay you any money. I'm going to be underwater. So what we do in this case is we'll just leave the loan in place. I'll pay you your equity separately, and I'll just take over your mortgage, make those payments on your behalf every single month, and I'll turn the house into some type of cash flow, whether it's a rental property, a short-term rental, a mid-term rental. I would have to run the numbers to see if I could even make it work. But that would be the only possible way that I could work something out on a house like this.
Yeah, basically. So you would be. I would come out with just for instance, the loan is at 1.9. I want to sell it at 2.5. I would come out with 600,000, and you'll just pretty much continue to pay the payments.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it could possibly be an option, but it would, like I said, it would have to make sense.
Yeah, I agree with that wholeheartedly. It would have to make sense for us as well. Let me ask, because I don't want to waste your time, but what I can do is I can run some numbers and see what would make the most sense and if it's something that we could even do. But I would need to know the balance, the interest rate, and the monthly payment that you pay.
Yeah, so I'm actually in the middle of a refi to get the rate down. So right now it's like 19,000, 19 a month. I think that the loan is at around 1.8. Yeah, it's like 1.8 something. Yeah, 1.8 something, and it was 19 a month. I think if I get through this refi, it'll be like $13K a month, somewhere down to that. Yeah. So,
what's the current interest rate?
I would have to check, but if I'm not mistaken, it's, let me see.
And then is this refinance? Is this already locked in, or is this something that?
So I did a cash out refi before. So when it was all in the I did never want to do it, but I didn't have plan on having it on the market that long. So we did a cash out refi. Ended up being over a year ago. And like I said, the first agent dropped the ball. So it was listed at $3 million. We had a buyer at 2.8, and she did negotiate it. She kind of let them sit on the $3 million, and they found another house in Alpharetta. And when I asked her to go back and check with the buyers, because so it was a wife. So when I bought, they were divorcing. The husband is the builder. He built the 3 houses in my area. So the family grew up in there. They divorced. The wife got remarried and wanted to come back and buy the house back. So we had her. Well, she said 2.8, but we had a buyer within the first week. It was on the market, listed at $3 million, and that first agent just kind of, I guess he called their bluffs, and they ended up finding another house. So it was just a bad plan from her. We ended up, going through with the refi. And it was meant to be something temporary, but like I said, it just turned to be something where I wasted a lot of money.
Yeah. So you refied. So you refied what to get? I guess what to use on your next house? Is that what you ended up doing?
So yeah, I had another house in Miami, which I sold already. But yeah, it was for a couple other things.
Got it. Okay.
But yeah, so yeah, it's around, like I said, like around that 1.8, 19,000 a month. So my thing is, how would you take ownership over the house if you were continuing to pay? How would that work on paper? Yeah,
that's a great question. So the mortgage and the deed are two separate, two completely separate things, right? Like I can have a mortgage on a house, but I can also transfer the ownership of that house and keep that mortgage in place. So everything goes through a title company, and it's simple. So like I actually live in a house where we bought like this, where every single month I log into the mortgage company, I make the payment on the seller's behalf, but my name is on the deed. I own the property. I pay the taxes. I pay the insurance. When the water heater and the furnace went out 2 weeks ago, I came out of pocket to fix it and put a new one in there. So it's a pretty simple process. We transfer the ownership and we just leave the mortgage in place. We don't touch it.
Right. And what happens if you default on paying?
Great question. We can almost set that up however we would want to. Like if we would, I always talk about worst case scenario with everybody that we buy from this way from. What would you like to see if absolute worst case scenario, I got abducted by aliens and you never heard from me again, the mortgage isn't paid?
I mean, on defaulted loans, I would still have the right to get the property back, right?
Right, exactly. So what we typically do is we'll set it up to where we'll pre-sign the paperwork over to you, and you wouldn't even need to go through a foreclosure or anything like that, or anything messy like that. You keep any money that we've paid you, and you just take it back over and can sell it again. Now, obviously, nobody wants you. I'm sure you don't want to take the house back over after you sell it. We don't want to give it back. So we're pretty confident that if I'm going to make a commitment like taking over a $19,000 a month loan, you better believe I'm going to be 100% confident that I can make that payment every month. I'm not in the business of losing money, so I'm not going to pay you a big chunk of change, put a lot of skin in the game, and then not be sure if I could actually turn this into cash flow.
And how long do you think you guys need? Well, how long do you need to run some numbers and figure that out? What's the time frame of this type?
I just need about a day to run the numbers. I'm gonna look at the numbers here as soon as we get off the call, and I'll just need a day. I can give you a call. Is around this time tomorrow work?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So the refinance that you're working on now, though, are you like, are you still in the process of applying for it, or is it already approved and you're just waiting to close on it, or where are you at in that process?
We're at the literally at the final stages.
Okay.
I think they're good. I'm not sure exactly what's left, but we're pretty much, like I said, we already passed the appraisal. We did pretty much everything. I think they're just locking in terms. I think we're pretty much done though.
So you think it'll drop to around 13K?
Yeah. If this goes through, that's where he put like 13 or 14,000.
What would the interest rate be on that? On the new one?
I don't know. I will have to ask him. Let's see. I'm not sure it's still in my messages. It would be much better. I think it was 7.8, if I'm not mistaken. 7.8, 7.9, something like that. 7.
Sheesh, bro. What they got you with what, a 10% interest rate right now?
Yeah, on that cash out, it was high. But like I said, I didn't care because I didn't expect it.
You thought it was going to be sold.
Yeah, which it should have been, and that's why I did it because we literally, like, it was more. We had more attention at 3 million than at whatever she was playing around with the numbers on.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't typically do that. It just kind of backfired with, trusting the agent that was my longtime agent.
Yeah.
And she just kind of dropped the ball.
Well,
but yeah, I think it's in the 7s.
What do you do, if you don't mind me asking?
I used to play basketball. Now I do a lot of real estate myself. I'm 50-50 in the company. My uncle's a broker.
Okay.
So I'm pretty much, I do a lot of investing in Baltimore, and I own a sports ball currently. So a little bit of everything.
Okay,
yeah,
nice.
I played professional basketball for a long time.
Nice. So because I still come across, I don't buy in Baltimore anymore, but if I come across anything, even if I don't, if I can't do anything with this one in Roswell, would you want me to send you deals that we get in Baltimore?
I mean, it's cool. I'm good here. We now have the ball rolling in Baltimore. I've been kind of killing it for the last 7 or 8 years. So I'm not really interested in doing nothing else. We have a lot going on right now.
Okay, sounds good. All right, well, let me run these numbers in and see if I can make something work. I can give you a call tomorrow, and if we can, we work something out. If not, no worries.
All right, cool.
All right, Malcolm, sounds good, man. I appreciate it.
Yep.
All right. I just had a call with an NBA player. That's pretty cool. So yeah, well, that seems like an interesting lead right there. He's paying $19,000 a month on the mortgage. He's about to refinance out to 13. We'll see if we can find somebody that'll take this over on terms. But that sounds like that'd be a pretty good situation if I can find the right person. This is the type of deal that I wouldn't dare sign up for or get in a contract unless I already have my buyer. Adrian said that interest rate super high though. Yeah, 100%, 7.8. I just sold one though. I just sold a 7.6% interest rate because I had that ideal buyer in mind, right? So if we find somebody who they may want to move into the house, or they may want to do like a event space, like this is a really nice house. It's a mansion. It's 8,000 square foot house. Like this is pretty interesting. So we'll definitely keep that going. And I'll make an offer to him tomorrow. I'll send it out to a couple of our buyers. Let me answer this. I don't even know who this is.
number?
This is Daryl. I buy houses. You have a house you want to sell?
Daryl at Buy Houses.
No, I'm just saying my name is
That's the
Daryl, and
company?
my name is Daryl, and I buy houses. Do you have a
What's
house
the company?
that you're looking to sell?
Well, what's the company?
You wouldn't know if I told you. It's not a huge company. Do you want to sell a
That's
property?
okay. What's the company?
The name is Offer George. Do you have a house that you want to sell?
Offer. Say that again. Offer George.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
He's probably a litigator or something like that. His brother was tripping. Yassine spoke with him. Yassine, if you can hear me, can you text me that guy's name so I can change the number, change the contact on this? All right, let's keep it going. Let me actually leave some notes for this guy.
Hey, Daryl.
Hey, what's going on? Yassine?
What was the guy whose address was it? The one on West, 40th West?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna send you his information right now.
All right, sounds good. Thank you. All right, let's keep it going, y'all. Let's keep it going.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail. The person you're
Who
trying
got
to
some
reach.
value on that call? We've had a couple good calls back to back. Who got some value on these calls? Let me see in the chat. Are we hearing any game, any sauce, any parts of the call that we can take into our own calls? Let me know where we at. Let me know what y'all think.
You're gonna hit me.
JR, can you hear me?
Barely. Yeah. Go ahead.
Can you hear me better now? This is Daryl calling about that property on Pickett Drive. You already get it sold?
No, it was not sold. Hasn't been.
Well, let's make it happen.
All right, what y'all want to give me for it?
What you want
They
for
said
it?
we can make the deal.
What you want for
Huh?
it? What do you want for it?
Well, we done come way down, and we'd like to get at least $150,000 for it.
So you want 150,000 for it?
Yep.
Where'd you come up with that number?
Well, I know what property around me's been sold for. I don't go by computers. I just go ask the people. Like that double wide trailer ain't 2 houses for me, sold for over 186,000. In the computer it says 183,000. It don't even have half the land I got.
How much land it got?
Well, on the deeds it says 1+ acre.
How much land you got?
I got 1+ acre. You know, it's 1.2 acres. That property down there where that trailer is don't even have half of the land I got that it's sitting on.
What's the address of that dang trailer?
Do what?
What's the address of that trailer?
I'm not sure of the address. I know it's just 2 houses for me. My neighbor's address is, I think it's 5124. And then the trailer's right there the side of his house. And my neighbor's got 2.9 acres. His property is just a little over, about twice, a little over twice the size of mine. And I had somebody shoot me the site showing that they're saying on the county records it's like 6.2 acres, which actually the deeds are saying 1.2 acres or 1+ acre. So that makes it 1.2 acres. Now that's on the deeds, 1+ acre. So
You have a survey?
no, I hadn't had it surveyed. The one that sent me that site told me that I might have to, but I ain't got $300 or $400 to have a surveyor come out here and survey it. I just know for a fact, after 54 years, I think I know how big my piece of property is. And I know where the corners are. You know, and how far back it goes. It goes all the way back into the creek. So, and that creek is tidal water.
Yeah, I see the creek.
Yep.
I'm also looking at your neighbors' lot lines, and looks like they got a good amount of land. Which neighbor are you talking about? You talking about the one that's closer to the dead end side of things, or closer to
the one that's on the other side of me is like 11 acres, and they some company come in and bought it and they turned it into truck parking.
Yeah.
And the one that's next to me is 2.9 acres. I know his property is half the size of mine. In other words, he's got half more than I do. He's got a little over half more because he's got like 1.7. He's got like 1.7 more acres than I do because his land is twice the size of mine. Mine's 1.2 and his is 2.9, but people don't want people saying that his is 1.5, and I know better than that shit because his land's bigger than mine.
Yeah.
And mine's 1.2 and his is 2.9. And he knows how much property, him and his wife knows how much property he's got. Because his fence is right on our property line. And the other fence on the other side of me is next to where that 11 acres were.
JR, tell me what happened with the last group of buyers that said that they were going to pay you $150?
Well, it was 154 what we agreed on, and they were supposed to done a finalize because the contract said they would finalize it. The 17th would have been Monday, last Monday. They didn't show up, and they hadn't called me. So
You ain't talked
all
to
I can say is,
you ain't talked to them since then?
do what?
You haven't talked to them since before the 17th?
Nope. I ain't even talked to them since the 17th, and today is what, 24th. So no, I hadn't talked to them.
And they came and seen the property and everything, and what?
Yeah. They know all about the property. He pulled it up on the satellite. He told me where each little piece was on my property, and we talked, and he got photos of the house and all that. They come back with 154, and we agreed on it. So
He didn't put any earnest money down?
no, he was supposed to come in and do the final closing on the 17th. That was our agreement in the contract, that he was coming in and buying it. And then there would be a $25,000 put in escrow, and then they'd give us an additional 2 weeks to get off the property. Now, that's what we agreed to in the contract, and they never come through, so I figured that they were lying, but I know it was a company. It wasn't no individual, and it's supposed to have been a reputable company that was going to buy it. But like I said, they didn't live up to the contract. So
Can I tell you something, JR, that you probably won't like?
well, I'm gonna say this: if I can't get at least 150,000 or awful damn close to 150,000, I guess I'll keep it.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you. I'll tell you. You know, I've been in this business a long time. I see a lot of people go under contract with sellers and end up not closing. And there's only one reason, JR, why that happens every single time. Do you want to know what it is?
Well, I know you probably gonna tell me that they decided that it wasn't worth it or whatever. So all I know is what we agreed to in the contract, and by law, it's supposed to be binding.
I agree with that. It is
It's
binding.
about the law.
It is binding, and they owe you some money. They owe you some money because they should have never got you under contract for that much money, knowing that they couldn't close on it or sell it. That's
They knew they were gonna sell it, and they were gonna close on it. It's a major reputable company.
Well, if they were that reputable, they would have at least called you since the 17th. They wouldn't have left you hanging. They're clearly
All I
not a
say
good
is,
company.
I know the law, and I know that when you sign a contract, you're supposed to be held to that contract. So either way, they didn't come through on it, so they reneged on it. So therefore, that's just the way it is.
Yeah. JR, how close can you get to 120?
Do what?
How close can you get to 120?
No, it won't never go for that. We'll keep it. It's going to have to be awful close to either 150 or awful close to 150. Because I know what property's going for around here, and I know this place is shooting up like wildfire around here. So that's just the way it's got to be.
So it doesn't matter if you keep it for another 2-3 years. You and the wife are both okay with that?
If I have to keep it, I'll keep it. I'll just jack the price up on it. That's all I'm gonna do.
You said you have to what?
I'm gonna jack the price up on it. If I keep it, the price is going up. Somebody will come along and they'll honestly buy it. If they don't, then I guess I'll keep it. And I'll fight whoever I have to fight to keep bullshit out of my yard. So won't bother me. I'm old country boy. I'm like that old country song. Country boys can survive, and I'm one of them.
I hear it. But now I get it. I know you can survive, JR. I know that. My notes here and
She don't survive because we're here. We're gonna make it happen. I mean, there it is. I'm not gonna go down, and she ain't either. We're not gonna sell it for no 120. 120 ain't doing nothing but just slitting our throat, and we're not gonna do it.
yeah.
150 is a good price, and I know it's worth every darn dime of it. Now, if nobody wants to come in here and give that for it, then they don't want it bad enough.
Yeah.
And the closest that she's gonna agree on is if y'all come up with 157.5. I mean 147.5. That's the closest that, or the lowest she'll go.
147.5.
Yep, $147,500, and that's as close as she's gonna get to it. He said anything below that, she'll just have to keep it.
You didn't want to just put it on the market with the real estate agent?
Nope, I don't trust real estate agents. They're like politicians. I don't trust them either.
Tell me why. Why don't you trust them?
I was taught by my grandfather, and he was a very wise man. He told me, he asked me one time when I was young and coming up, he said, son, you know when a politician's lying? I said, well, no, sir. He said, when they open their mouth.
I believe that. So you think realtors are the same way?
Every one of them I've ever talked to.
Hey, I don't totally disagree with you on that. That's pretty funny. So I'm not an agent. I'm not a real estate agent, but I think I could bring you a buyer that would pay you $147,500, and I'll just have them pay my fee and the closing costs. What do you think about that?
Well, they pay. Who's paying the closing costs and fees?
The buyer.
Okay, that's fine. You get somebody when you're going to have them, today or tomorrow, because whoever shows up with the right amount of money, they're going to buy it. Because, I mean, I've already done, we done looked at word about putting that unit over yonder, so somebody's going to have to come in with some serious money because I can't move her or put that other unit on that property over there next to our granddaughter without some money.
How much? Yeah, I get it. It'd take me about 30 days to bring a buyer. I would have to put the house on the market and send it out to my buyers.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to agree that it be put on the market, because then if it's put on the market, it'll sew it up to where that nobody else can come in and buy it. That's the reason I'm selling it on our own. That way, whoever comes up with the money, it's just like a car trader I'm selling.
If you got somebody that can show you the money, show you proof of funds, and they'll pay the price that we can move it at, I wouldn't mind canceling my contract. I would even put that in the contract that if somebody comes and they can pay your price and they can show a proof of funds in their own bank account and at least $5,000 earnest money, I'll take it off the market. I'll tell my buyers it's not available and that you sold it. I wouldn't stop you from selling it.
I'm just not going to put it on the market. I'll do what I have to do, and if I have to, I'll go to doing what I can around here to keep it up, keep it going, and I'll just have to live with it. Because
so would you, even if you don't put it on the market, would you give me 30 days to bring you a buyer, and then they'll just pay me my fee?
Well, I mean, I'm not going to sign no contract giving nobody no time or tying it up that way. I want it sold now. I've been burnt by that one that going into a contract and they promised me.
Yeah, well, that guy promised you he was going to buy it. I'm not a real estate agent, so I don't have the right to market your property without your say so. You already said I can't put it on the market, but I would still send it out to my buyers. I wouldn't put it on the market, but I can't do that without you signing a piece of paper saying that I can do that.
Yeah, I'm not going to put it on the market.
I won't put it on the market. I don't have to put it on the market. I'll just send it to my buyers.
Well, if you want to see if you can find some buyers, that's fine, but I'm not going to sign nothing. And then we both under the same understanding that whoever shows up with the money is one that buys it.
Well, we just won't be a good fit then, partner, because I legally can't send your deal out without your permission, written permission. So I won't be able to help you out there.
All right. Well, I appreciate it.
I appreciate you. He needs to be educated a little bit more. Just need to talk to him straight, just how I was, just straight at him and just tell him exactly where we would need to be at based on the actual real numbers. He keeps talking about the computer and this and that. It's like the same conversation that this guy has every time we talk to him. So he's eventually going to sell it, but he's going to be somebody that we're just going to continue to follow up with. That was a fun call, though. Fun conversation. It said seller finance pitch.
I'm busy right now and I can't take your call.
The reason why I did not pitch seller finance is because they need the cash to buy a trailer and put the trailer on their next lot. Seller finance only works if I can get a low entry fee and somebody has a property to where they don't need the cash today. That's why I didn't pitch seller finance. That's why I pitched Novation. Then my Novation pitch turned into an option agreement because he didn't want it on the market.
Nine 5 4 2 3 4 0 1 2.
Hey, this is Billy with Billy Arts Design. Please leave a message.
Please leave your message for Girl.
Dang, my system's acting weird. What is going on? Yeah, not yet. He's not motivated yet.
Your call has been
He
forwarded
has
to
some
voicemail.
motivation where
The person you're trying to reach is not
his wife can't go upstairs anymore, and it's a 2-story. So he's gonna need to sell it here sooner or later. But he's just a little hard to get right now.
Please leave your message for 3367.
All right, I'm gonna take a quick pause here on the dialer. I'm gonna run my KPIs. I'm gonna go through my KPIs here. Been about 2 hours here dialing. I made some calls earlier as well, but I'll show you guys just the KPIs that I track and measure. I'm not gonna stay on too much longer. We're gonna go live 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, same time. So make sure you're marking it in your calendar. If you're not already in the free Discord, make sure you join the free Discord. And if you're already in there, click the link below anyways to get, the free goodies. I have the MAO calculator. I have a creative finance, underwriting rules document, and I have some other cool things that you get once you sign up. Adrian said, "What dialer do you use?" So the dialer that I use is built into my CRM. If anybody wants to use a CRM that we use, it is called REI Unlock. I'll post the link right here. Give me a second. On REI Unlock, we have AI. We have AI follow up. We send our text blasts through AI. So I'll send a text blast of 1,000 people, and what would happen is our AI is going to follow up. It's going to do follow-ups. It's going to just set appointments for me. So that's really good. So I'll use this here. Skip tracing, we use skipsavior.com. Let me go to skipsavior.com. I'll put that here in the chat as well. So that's the REI Unlock code that you get. I believe you get some type of discount when you use that code that I posted, the link that I posted, the REI Unlock /Daryl. Regardless, if you talk to Olu with REI Unlock, let them know that Daryl sent you, and he'll hook you up. But I use them for my CRM. We use skipsavior.com for skip tracing. I use REI Unlock too. Olu has perfected that system 100%. We love REI Unlock. So here, let me share my screen here. Boom. We're going to switch camera views here. Bang. And then I'm going to, let me know, can y'all still see my screen? Let me know in the chat. Can y'all still see my screen? So what I'm going to do right here, I'm going to go to reporting. And I just want to see how many dials I made so far. What I'll do, and dials and conversations are the 2 KPIs that I track the most. How many dials did I make? How many conversations did I have? So I'm going to check for Monday. Obviously, I'm not done making calls just yet. I still have another 2-3 hours on the phone. But my goal is always 15 conversations in a day. So you see, I've made 61 calls, which isn't a whole lot. You see, Naf on my team has 172. Yassine's been dialing away at 98. I'm going to go to call. I'm going to check calls now. So I track a conversation, anything over 60 seconds. So I do minimum 60. You see, I had 11 conversations today. And I like to count it because sometimes it doesn't tally for me. So this is 1, 2, 3. Don't think this is me.
Hello?
Hello.
Hey, Malcolm. It's Yasin.
3. Spoke with Vivian. That's 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I'm at 12 conversations so far. 15 is my goal for the day. And when I get 15, I know when I have 15 conversations, typically that means I have a contract coming up soon. So I'm expecting to get a contract signed today. When I hit those numbers, if not, I'll probably get 2 signed tomorrow. That's how serious it is, to just track your numbers down to the key. Because now I know exactly how many dials and how many conversations I need to have for me to be able to get a contract signed. Before we wrap everything up today, I wanted to answer any questions that anybody may have. Talk to me in the chat, y'all. Did we get some value today? Did we learn any tricks, any tips to be able to have better conversations, more calm conversations? I want to be able to show how easy this is as we go through this journey. I want you guys to be able to see in real time me closing deals, me solving problems, and I want you guys to see how effortless this actually is, and how we're just having a normal conversation with people. Okay. So if you have not already joined the Discord, make sure you join the free Dawgpound Discord. The link is in the bio below. Send this to a couple people who are calling sellers. Make sure they join the Discord. We'll go live again next Wednesday, same exact time. Put it in your calendar, set a reminder, and I will see everybody then. If you're in the Dawgpound, I'll see y'all in there. We're talking about having a Bible study and all of those other great things that we can get done in there to build that community. So I'll see everybody. Y'all have a blessed day. Go call some sellers, solve some problems, get some contracts signed, and I will see y'all later. Peace.